بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Inshallah, today we'll be going through the fifth chapter, Al-Wahdatul Khamisa, in the book Araabiya Bayna yadayk, and this chapter is about food and drink. At-ta'amu, which means food, wa-sharabu, and drink. So, الحوار الأول, the first conversation. انظر واستمع واعد, look and listen and repeat. حوار بين قاسم وسالم, conversation between قاسم and Salim. كم وجبة تأكل في اليوم؟ كم, how many, وجبة, meals or meal, تأكل, you eat, في, in, اليوم, the day. كم وجبة تأكل في اليوم? How many meals do you eat in a day? آكل 3 وجبات. آكل, I eat, 3, 3, وجبات, meals. آكل 3 وجبات. I eat 3 meals. الفطور والغداء والعشاء. الفطور, breakfast, والغداء, lunch and lunch, والعشاء and dinner. الفطور والغداء والعشاء, breakfast and lunch and dinner. هذا كثير جدا. هذا, this is, كثير, a lot, جدا. Now this has two meanings. It can either mean too or very. So هذا كثير جدا, this is too much. أنا آكل وجبة واحدة. أنا, I, آكل, I eat, وجبة, meal, واحدة, one. أنا آكل وجبة واحدة. I eat one meal. هذا قليل جدا. هذا, this is, قليل, little, جدا, again means too or very. So هذا قليل جدا, this is too little. ماذا تأكل في الغداء؟ ماذا, what, تأكل, you eat, في, in, الغداء, lunch. ماذا تأكل في الغداء? What do you eat for lunch? آكل اللحم والدجاج والأرز والخبز. آكل, I eat, اللحم, meat, والدجاج, and chicken, والأرز, and rice, والخبز, and bread. آكل اللحم والدجاج والأرز والخبز. I eat chicken, I eat meat and chicken and rice and bread. وماذا تأكل أنت؟ and ماذا, what, تأكل, you eat, أنت, you. وماذا تأكل أنت? And what do you eat? آكل السمك والسلطة والفاكهة. آكل, I eat, السمك, fish, والسلطة, and salad, والفاكهة, and fruit. آكل السمك والسلطة والفاكهة. I eat fish and salad and fruit. ما وزنك؟ ما, what, وزن, وزن, weight. The ka is ضمير متصل, is a pronoun attached, so it means you. So ما وزنك, what's your weight? 60 كيلا. 60, 60, كيلا is kilos. So 60 كيلا, 60 kilos. وما وزنك أنت? و, and, ما, what, وزنك, your weight, أنت, you. وما وزنك أنت? And what is your weight? Or how much do you weigh? 100 كيلي, 100, 100, كيلي, kilos, 100 kilos. أنت سمين جدا. أنت, you, سمين, fat, جدا, very, or too. أنت سمين جدا, you're very fat. Now this literally means fat, so it's not a very nice thing to say to anyone. But yeah, maybe they can say ثقيل, which means heavy. I don't know. Allah knows best. Anyhow, وأنت نحيف جدا وحرف is and أنت you نحيف light or skinny جدا very, so أنت نحيف جدا and you're very skinny. Okay, so now we'll go through the Arabic grammar for this conversation. And so previously we've studied how to identify words if it's ism or fi'l or a harf and so on, and we've also identified how to see if a sentence is a jumla fi'liya, and how to identify if a sentence is jumla ismiya, like this one here. And we've also gone through, I believe, mubtada and khabar. When in a jumla ismiya, the mubtada is the subject and the khabar is the second rafa you come across, which gives you information about the mubtada. And today, inshallah, we'll go through a marfu', which is very similar to how khabar is to a mubtada, but marfu' is different. The maf'ul, sorry, did I say marfu'? Maf'ul is what we're going to go through, inshallah. And there's different types of maf'ul in a jumla fi'liya. You have maf'ul bihi, maf'ul fihi, lahu, hal, maf'ul mutlaq, and so on. But in essence, what maf'ul is, it basically gives you information about the fa'il or the fa'il. So that's what you need to understand, and that's what we're going to go through today, inshallah. How to identify the maf'ul, and just identifying the basic maf'ul. So we won't delve into whether it's a maf'ul fihi or maf'ul bihi and so on. But for now, just identifying a maf'ul in a jumla fa'liya. So now, here we have a sentence, كم وجبة, or a question rather, كم وجبة تأكل في اليوم. So now, when I look at this question, I know straight away this is a jumla fi'liya, because it has a fi'l, and also, like we've said before, if a answer to a question begins with a fi'l, which means that this sentence is jumla fi'liya, then the question has to be jumla fi'liya as well. So we know straight away that this is a jumla fi'liya, and this is actually a very advanced jumla fi'liya, because normally in a jumla fi'liya, the structure of the maf'ul comes, the structure of the jumla fi'liya is that you have the fi'l and the fa'il, and then you have the maf'ul, which comes after. Sometimes the maf'ul can come before, and these are advanced Arabic sentences, and this is one of those sentences or questions. So this one is quite difficult in terms of going through the Arabic grammar of it, but I'll go through it, inshallah. But just remember that we will go through this stuff, inshallah, in the future videos, so don't get yourself confused. The more easy examples are these ones here, like akulu thalatha wajabatin, akulu al-lahma wad-dajaja wal-aruz, and all these kind of questions, sentences are much easier in terms of identifying the maf'ul, because it follows that structure of fi'al, fa'il, and the maf'ul. Whereas these ones here is slightly more difficult, because the fi'al and fa'il is over here. The ta'kulu, okay, let's start from the beginning. The kam is your ism istifham, but this is also your maf'ul bihi muqaddam. When the maf'ul comes before the fi'al and fa'il, then we say that maf'ul is muqaddam, and the fi'al and fa'il is muakhar. Wajbatan, again, this is tamyiz in Arabic grammar, but tamyiz is something that we will go through again in the future videos, inshallah, because it's quite advanced level. But just so you know, tamyiz comes after a number or after an adad, which is a number, and also it's basically answers in regards to a question, and then those words are tamyiz. But for now, we'll just say this is an ism, and ta'kul is obviously your فعل مضارع, and it has a fa'il which is ضمير مستتر تقديره أنت. So now you can see that the fi'l and fa'il comes after the maf'ul. That's why this is mu'akhar, and that's why the maf'ul is muqaddam. And again, this is advanced level grammar. And then you have fi, which is harf jar, and al-yawmi is jar majrur. This is stuff that we've already studied, so that's not difficult. And then yeah, so like I said, this is a much more easier example to go through. The sentence here which says akulu thalatha wajabatin. Now when we say akulu, we know that this word is fa'lun mudari', and the fa'il is damir mustatir taqdiruhu ana. The fa'il, the doer is within it, and the doer is ana, which is I. Now when I say akulu, it means, when you translate it, it means I eat. So what do I eat? Like I said, maf'ul is any information about the person, about the fi'al or the fa'il. So any information I can find, so will be maf'ul. So when I say akulu thalatha wajabatin, 3 meals, that is information. So this is your maf'ul. Now thalatha becomes your maf'ul. Now the word thalatha wajabatin is also something else that we've studied previously. Now thalatha is also a mudaf. And why is it mudaf? Because it has no alif lam and it has no tanween. And the fact that it has no alif lam and tanween, this is your mudaf, and the word after is mudafun ilayhi majroor because it has a kasra. So that's also an additional i'rab of the word of these two words thalatha wajabatin. And then you have al-futura wal-qada' wal-asha'a, which is basically, in Arabic grammar, these are called takmila. They complete the sentence. For now, let's just say that these are 3 ism that comes after the jumla fi'liya, and we will go through the stuff later, inshallah. So now here, هذا كثير جدا, straight away I know that this is a jumla ismiya because there is no fi'ls involved, and we know there's only 2 types of sentences. And in a jumla ismiya, هذا is your ism ishara marfu', which means that this is also your mubtada, and this kathirun becomes your khabar because it's the first rafa that comes after your mubtada becomes your khabar. And then jiddan, this is a little bit confusing because this is actually maf'ul, and previously I said that maf'ul is only in a jumla fi'liya, but this is a maf'ul mutlaq, and again this is quite advanced level. For now, all you need to know is that it gives you information about the subject. That's why this is a maf'ul, and it's a maf'ul mutlaq again, which means that it's in its masdar form, and masdar is basically a verbal noun. So for now we'll just say it gives you more information about the sentence, which it does. So jiddan means very, so it's for emphasis, isn't it? So هذا كثير جدا, again this is a jumla ismiya. So now we have أنا آكل وجبة واحدة. Now I want you to remember, I don't know if I did this previously, but whenever you have a ضمير منفصل, and that if a sentence begins with a ضمير منفصل, then you know straight away that this is a jumla ismiya. Whenever you see a sentence beginning with أنا, هو, أنت, نحن, all these ضمير منفصils, then you know that this sentence is a jumla ismiya. And now let me look for a pencil. Okay, where is it gone? There you go. So أنا آكل وجبة واحدة. So like I said, because of this word أنا, or of pronoun, this whole sentence becomes jumla ismiya. This part is your mubtada, and the rest of the sentence becomes your khabar. And now the khabar is also a jumla fi'liya. Why is it a jumla fi'liya? Because it has the word, it begins with the word akulu, and akulu is a fi'l, and it also has a fa'il, which is damir mustatir taqdiruhu ana, and it also has a maf'ul bihi, because this part over here, okay, now this akulu is your maf'ul, is your fi'l and fa'il, and after a fi'l and fa'il comes the maf'ul, and akulu means I eat. So what do I eat? It gives you information about what I eat. Wajbatan wahida, I eat one meal. That means that this part over here becomes your maf'ul. But also the maf'ul bihi, if you look into it clearly, all the i'rab of wajbatan is exactly the same as wahidatan. If you notice, wajbatan has a fathatain, wahidatan has fathatain. Wajbatan is feminine, wahidatan is feminine. Wajbatan is singular, wahidatan is singular. And we know that when two isms, their i'rabs match equally, then that means the first ism is mawsuf and the second ism is sifa, which is describing the mawsuf. So this is also, so it's a maf'ul bihi muqaddam, afwan, it's a maf'ul bihi, and it's also mawsufan sifa. So this is quite a difficult example. If you understand this example, then I think you understand majority of jumla ismiya and jumla fi'liya, because you have both jumla fi'liya, you have a jumla ismiya, and within that jumla ismiya you have a jumla fi'liya. But it's not very difficult. I think it's understandable. Oh, subhanallah, what have I done here? Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. What's happening, bro? الوحدة الخامسة, and then scroll down. Okay, so we're on the sentence هذا قليل جدا. So now this sentence is exactly the same as the sentence on top, هذا كثير جدا. Now again, هذا is your اسم إشارة مرفوع, which means that it's also your مبتدا, and then قليل is the second رفع you come across after your مبتدا, which means this becomes your خبر, and then جدا is your مفعول مطلق, like we've said already. Okay, so now, so this question here is very similar to the one over here. كم وجبة تأكل في اليوم? Again, this is very advanced sentence, because we know for a fact that this is a jumla fi'aliyah, right? Because it has a fa'al within that sentence, and also it's a question, and the answer to that question begins with a fa'al. So we know that it's a jumla fi'aliyah. Now, and the fa'al is here, ta'kulu. So now where is the maf'ul? The maf'ul in this sentence is actually before. So the maf'ul is muqaddam, and that's why this is quite a difficult example to go through. But for now, we won't delve into it too much. I'll just say what it is, and then inshallah in the later videos we'll go through we'll go through this in more detail, because obviously there's examples where the jumla fi'aliyah doesn't follow the normal structure of fa'al, fa'il, and maf'ul. But for now, we'll just follow that structure. Inshallah, we'll go through the normal structure. Whereas here, you have the maf'ul bihi, which is muqaddam, and the fa'al and fa'il is here. Ta'kulu, fi is harf jar, and al-ghada'i is jar majroor. Now this sentence at the bottom is a perfect example of a jumla fi'aliyah, like at a basic level. Akulu is your فعل مضارع, and it's also your ضمير مستتر تقديره أنا. So the فعل is آكل, the ضمير the فاعل is أنا, which is I. So آكل means I eat. Now what do I eat? The sentence says اللحمة, I eat the meat. All of your the fact that it gives you information about what I'm eating, this becomes your maf'ul, and the maf'ul it has to take a fatha. The maf'ul has to take a fatha. You can't say, okay, the maf'ul has to take a fatha. You can't say al-lahmu or al-lahmi. So akulu al-lahma, and then the fact that, okay, let me move this. And then if you want to add more things to it, you can say I eat the meat, wad-dajaja, and also I eat the chicken. So this also becomes your maf'ul. Wal aruzza, then this also becomes your maf'ul. And bread, and then this also becomes your maf'ul. So everything that you say, you can, the more information you give, the more maf'uls you have. So if I was to say akul lahma al-yawma, I eat meat today, then the part al-yawma also becomes maf'ul. So the more information you give about the fa'al, the more maf'uls you have, and you can have a lot more maf'uls if you wanted to. Like you can say, I eat meat quickly, or then the word quickly becomes maf'ul as well. Or I eat meat with someone, whatever. Anything that you can add to the information, and the more information you have, the more maf'uls you have, basically. And then here, وَمَاذَا تَأْكُلُ أَنْتَ? Again, this is very similar to the question here. ماذا تأكل في الغداء? is حرف عطف. ماذا is your مفعول به مقدم, and تأكل is your فعل and فاعل. أنت is ضمير منفصل للتوكيد. أنت is only there for emphasis, and it's a ضمير منفصل. It's a question, and because the question is jumla fi'aliyah, the answer has to be jumla fi'aliyah as well. So it begins with a fa'al, and and the fa'il is ana. And again, this is a very good example of of a jumla fi'liya where you have the fa'il and then you have all the maf'uls which follow it, like these ones here. So you have the fa'il and fa'il, which is akulu, and the fa'il is ana, and then all the maf'uls have to have a nasb, a mansub, have to be in their mansub form, as samaka, so I eat fish, was salata, and salad, wal fakiha, and fruits. So all of that is your maf'ul. So now again, this is quite an advanced sentence as well. And we know, firstly, when you look at that sentence, straight away you should identify this to be a jumla ismiya. Why? Because there's no fi'ls involved. You have no fi'l in the sentence. So you know for a fact that this is jumla ismiya. And secondly, how do you identify your mubtada? You look at the sentence, you know the subject. ما وزنك, wazn is the subject, the weight is the subject. So you know this is your mubtada. If this is your mubtada, and then the ma has to become your khabar muqaddam. Normally we have the mubtada and then we have the khabar, isn't it? But here the khabar has come before, so becomes the ma becomes khabar muqaddam, and the wazn becomes mubtada muakhar. And yeah, again, this is a little bit advanced, so if you don't understand it, it's fine, not a problem. We can go through it later, inshallah. So here we have sittuna kilan. So sittun again is khabar marfu, and then this is tamyiz mansub. Now again, like I said, tamyiz comes after a number, but we will go through the stuff again later as well, inshallah. Wama waznuka anta is very similar to what we've studied, we did over here. It's just the fact that we have anta on top of it, extra, and this anta is only there for emphasis. Salim says mi'a kili. Again, the mi'a is the khabar and kili is tamyiz. But we will go through that later. It's nothing important. The more important ones are akulu samaka, which follows the normal jumla fi'liya structure. You have the fa'al, fa'il, and maf'ul, and this also is a normal jumla ismiya where you have anta, which is your mubtada, and dhamir munfasil. And like I said, any sentence that begins with a dhamir munfasil automatically becomes your mubtada, and it's a jumla ismiya. And the second rafa you come across becomes your khabar. And rafa, by rafa I mean this thing here. It's marfu', it's got damatain, so it's your marfu', and this becomes your khabar. And then jiddan here gives you information, so this is maf'ul, and it's a maf'ul mutlaq. And then again, this sentence is exactly the same as the one we've already done. Wa is harf atf, anta is your dhamir munfasil, and the fact that the sentence begins with the dhamir munfasil, then you know that this whole sentence is a jumla ismiya. Anta is your mubtada, nahifun is your khabar, because is the first rafa you come across after your mubtada, and then jiddan is your maf'ul mutlaq. And alhamdulillah, we're done for today. It's a lot of information, but inshallah it makes sense. Khair. Slowly, it will be done. Barakallahu feek. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.